Hi, I'm Neil Birkin. You might know me from the Facebook and England darts stuff that I've been doing. I'm here with the guys in Hungary with the Scolia lighting and scoring unit. And what I'm going to do in this video is right from scratch. I'm going to show you how to put the thing together, mount it on the wall and get it working. I'm a big fan of this system. I think it's really worthwhile. So this is kind of interesting. And what I'm going to show you is that it's fairly straightforward to actually put together, set up and get going. So enjoy. First of all, we've got to attach the template pieces to the ring. Now what these do is they allow us to position the ring so that the dartboard is perfectly central. So these three simple pieces of wood we used as templates, we space it out, you can put the ring around the outside. One of the pieces should be in the 9 o'clock position, and we have used a spirit level to make sure this is spot on in position. Now we can mark for where we're going to drill for the fixings. The next job is to drill the holes for the roll plugs. So these are drilled at the appropriate depth and marked out in the perfect positions. Most people would use a hoover to just make sure there's no dust going everywhere. Now we can insert the actual roll plugs into the holes and tap them home so that they're flush with the wall. Once they're in position, we can now insert the roll bolts. These I've got a coarse screw thread on one end, and you use a Torx driver to drive them home into position. Okay, so now we've got those three mounting points set up on the wall. We need to set up the legs. First we've got to do is arrange the cables on the legs so that we make sure they don't get trapped. Now we can place the ring on top of the legs, and it's a two-man job really. You just got to make sure that you're not trapping any cables. The cables are fitting into the little slots. As you screw these down, it takes 2 screws per leg to fit the ring in position. Once all those 6 screws are in position and the whole assembly is nice and solid, you can turn it upside down. This allows you to firstly push the USB connectors together, and there are a series of slots which are all perfect size, so you can just push the cables into these slots and they're all nicely hidden behind the ring. Your ring assembly now and the legs is all in one piece, it's all wired together, so now we can just hang it all on the wall on those 3 screws. And the trick here is you put a nut and a washer on the top one first. It just needs to be finger tight to hold the thing in position, and then you can put the nuts and washers on the bottom 2 and tighten them up with a spanner. Once they're all tight, that's the ring and leg assembly all attached to the wall and in position. The next thing is we've got to decide where we're going to put the processing unit. Now it needs to be near the master leg. The master leg is the one with all the cables running out of it, and you've got to make sure that these cables will actually reach the processing unit because they've all got to plug into it. So that dictates where your processing unit's going to be. Once you've decided where that is, you put the bracket on the wall in position and you use it to mark out where you're going to drill for the screws. Once you've got your marks, you can then drill for the screws and insert your roll plugs, and then quite simply put your bracket on with the 2 screws which you just inserted the roll plugs which you previously drilled. Once your bracket's mounted on the wall, it's a simple matter to plug in the 3 USB connections and the power connection for the LED strip, and then you can hang the whole processing unit on the bracket. Once that's hung on the wall, there's a small screw that you can fit underneath, which actually permanently attaches or solidly attaches the processing unit to the bracket. And that's all of that part finished. Your processing unit's attached to the wall, your ring and legs are attached to the wall, everything done. Once you've attached the power cable and the LAN cable to the processing unit, everything's ready to go. All you need to do now is get your tablet linked up to the processing unit, and you can start playing. It is worth mentioning that you've got to have the dartboard clear. You've got to give it time to set itself up and calibrate. It's a few seconds, but it needs that little bit of time just for first use. But it is very simple and very straightforward to set up and start.